This is our 19th episode, and like the 19th century, we don't have safe working conditions, the lights aren't secure, and there are a lot of children burning coal backstage. This is also our women's empowerment episode. I'm not a woman, so we are off to a shaky start. But I'd like to introduce our sidekick for this episode, head writer, and the only woman I know, Shannon Kelly.
Thanks so much for having me, Andrew.
Oh, thank you, Shannon. Shannon, I want to let you know, in honor of women's empowerment, I'll only be accepting 95% of my paycheck.
Wait, Andrew, you know that women get paid 70-something% of what men get paid.
Yeah, I just thought that'd be way too low.
Okay.
You're ridiculous. Let's take a look at the news. Last week, China's president banned the letter N on the internet for a short period of time, which was horrible news for Batman, whose new theme song was, Batman!
Better, I think better.
In Russia, a faulty hatch caused a plane to drop 3 tons of gold on the runway. And what was worse was the in-flight movie was Jack and Jill, featuring Adam Sandler. Twice.
I looked it up, and that movie has a 3% Rotten Tomatoes review.
It's weird, because the UN gives Russia the same review.
Oh, okay.
Slam. Trump's raising concerns about the impact of violent movies suggests a rating system. We found Trump's rating system. There are 2 categories: shooties and movies like Boss Baby.
It encompasses all of them, that's it.
Just 2.
Just 2.
Adult film actor Stormy Daniels has started a crowdfund campaign to fund her battle against Donald Trump. However, it's still unclear if the battle will take place in the courtroom or the Detroit underground rap scene. The Church of Scientology is planning to launch its own TV channel, but they're saying they aren't trying to preach or convert. Just like I'm definitely not trying to convert people to Andrewism, the religion where I give people little nicknames they don't like and drink rosé in public parks.
Is that why I saw you taking a bag of french fries from those freshmen the other day in Frick?
Shut up, turtle face.
Great.
This week, researchers have proposed that blunt force trauma is the best method for killing the excessive amount of iguanas in Florida. I'll finish the joke, but isn't that horrible? This is more humane than the original suggestion, which was just paying larger iguanas to kill them.
The mob down there, it's rampant.
I want to know how they're going to fix it. I don't know if you can believe this, but Las Vegas airports have installed dispensary boxes where people can dispose of their marijuana before flying. The boxes are easily identified by the phrase, "donations to Eric." 500,000 smoke detectors were recalled after having caps covering their smoke sensors. But it was totally worth it because they look like little smoke detectors wearing little hats like...
Is that your smoke detector impression?
You got a fire.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been working on it.
Okay.
And finally, a new study says that humans have procreated outside our species 3 times in history. Now, it's not as weird as you think. They were like cousins in a way.
Wait, Andrew, wait, no. That's very weird. I would say
we have a great show for you tonight. Pitt Fem's here, SGB President Maggie Kennedy's here, and sounds like Treble will be performing for you later. But right now, give it up for the Allies of the Boulevard. Thank you. Welcome back to Pitt tonight. Before we continue with this episode, I'd like to do something a little different.
Oh, God, I hate when you say that. It's like we wrote something for you, so just do what we planned, Andrew.
Shannon, give me your bra.
Okay. That's definitely a no. Andrew, what are you doing?
Shannon, I'm gonna burn our bras and show the man who's boss.
Okay, why were you even wearing a bra? You don't need it.
You're right. None of us do.
Okay. Andrew, give me that. Give me that. Give me
I'm just trying to be the best feminist I can.
That's great, Andrew, but look, like a bra burning, like on stage, there's a lot of wires. It wouldn't be like the best thing to do right now, you know? Okay.
I made this for you.
Okay. Oh God, what is this?
In honor of women's empowerment, I made you dinner. Pasta in ketchup. So you can spend more time marching for inequality and less time in that patriarchal kitchen. Yeah.
Yeah, the noodles aren't even cooked, Andrew.
That's the problem.
Okay. Andrew, I don't think you really understand women's empowerment.
How? I understand. Look.
Oh my God, are you okay?
I've been free bleeding for the last week.
Okay. One, that's not what you think it is. And two, that's very concerning. It could get infected.
Don't worry. I have this. Yes, I know how to fix it. My mom taught me to.
Okay.
I love Judy Blume.
No. No, that's not how you're supposed to use these.
Okay. Look, I get it. Birth control can be a touchy subject.
No, it really could. It can.
So I'm gonna take an entire lifetime's worth of the pill right now.
Okay. No, you can't do. What doctor gave you these? No, Andrew, no.
Shannon, how many months have you been alive?
I don't take birth control since I was born, Andrew.
And that's the problem. The
No.
GOP regulating your body and telling you what
Andrew,
you can do.
That's very dangerous, and you don't want to be known as a guy who overdosed on birth control. What doctor gave you these?
Fine. Well, at least take this.
Okay, well, what's this? What is this?
I think it's unfair how women have to shave off their leg hairs, so these are all my leg hair trimming from the past few months.
Oh, God, Andrew!
You could burn them in political protest or glue them to your body for a sense of pride. It's all up to you.
I will definitely, that's so gross.
I was originally gonna put in the pasta.
Okay. Andrew, feminism and women's empowerment, it's not about lowering yourself to the place men have given women. It's about raising women up to the place men have taken for themselves.
Oh my gosh, Shannon, you're right.
There you go, you get it, okay.
Thank you for telling me that. Well, I'm gonna do something that will empower you.
Oh my gosh. Are you gonna let me be host? I have so many ideas.
No. I'm gonna do one better.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you my virginity.
No. Put it away. No, I don't want that.
You're welcome.
No, I don't know. Andrew, you're gay.
Yeah.
And very sexually active in that community. You've told me in detail many times.
And I've always been racked with guilt about it. I've always picked men over women, but that's gonna stop today.
Nope, it's not. No, for many reasons. It's not. One, I'm in a relationship. I like that relationship, and I don't want to. So that's it.
Fine, but I don't know. I have a copy on my hard drive of all of Wizard Waverly Place, but I edited out every single man in it. Would you want that?
Yeah, I'd take that. That'd be great.
Okay. We'll be back with more Pitt tonight. Thank you. Welcome back to Pitt Tonight. Please welcome Pitt Femme Executive Board Member, Sophia Marshall. Welcome.
I get a whole couch.
All to yourself.
This is women's empowerment. I am empowered to take a nap.
Or do an interview. Your call.
I'm gonna go with the nap. No, I feel like my president would be really mad at me if I just took a nap instead of doing an interview.
I would too. But tell us about FEM.
Okay, so FEM stands for Female Empowerment Movement. We're a pretty recent group on campus. Our whole thing is we're creating spaces to discuss intersectional feminism and to connect college-aged women with the professional and social networks that are engineered for their success.
So,
Yes,
that's great.
That's the president. Thank you, Aya.
As we should, as we should. The word intersectional gets used a lot now. How would you define that? How would you describe a space being, what makes a space intersectional?
Okay, so to go a little into the history of feminism, especially American feminism was started by white, cisgender, heterosexual women. And the feminist movement, especially first wave feminism, was only for the women who were privileged enough to have the money and to be white and fit within the basic boundaries of, you know, what it meant to be a woman, like trademarked. And so black women were excluded from this. Anybody who fell out of the gender binary was excluded from this. And so, you know, this movement that was meant to support people, to support anybody who identifies as a woman or something other, was excluding like almost all of the people it's meant for. So talking about intersectional feminism basically is like, okay, yeah, I'm a woman, but in my case, I'm Korean American, I'm bisexual, I deal with mental health issues, all of that. It's not like I'm all of those things and then like also a woman in this standalone issue. All of those interact in very different ways. So intersectional feminism is all about, hey, we all experience this differently. Let's come together and talk about how our experiences differ due to the other parts of our identities.
It's amazing. So what role models do you look up to for that? Like any women that you feel that really inspired you to get involved with something like FEM? And what makes them like empowered women to you?
I'm gonna give the answer that everybody gives and say, my mom.
Naturally.
Oh, thanks, guys. She's, my mother is Korean. She's 5'3". And she's like the meanest person you'll ever meet, and I love her. She's like, and this is exactly the sort of thing of intersectional feminism. Growing up, she had a very different set of expectations set on her, both when she lived in Korea and then when she moved to the United States, as people perceived her as both somebody who was Asian and a foreigner, but also as a woman, and that created this like whole new set of stereotypes. And she kind of went into the world with this attitude of, I learned how to drop kick people when I was 6 and I will fight you. And she passed that on to me. I'm not gonna fight you. But
I would lose.
Claw you. And she just really raised me with this idea of, you're put on this earth to figure out who you are and to be a good person, and everything past that, nobody can tell you how you're supposed to do any of that. So when everybody else was saying I was bossy, she was telling me I was a good leader. And when everybody else was saying that I was snarky, she was telling me I had a unique sense of humor. And I'm so glad that she brought me to where I am today. So yeah, my mom.
It's wonderful. In the conversation of feminism, I feel sometimes that there are people who are like very readily dismissed from it. People like Hillary Clinton aren't, but people like the Kardashians and Cardi B are normally like, like, oh no, they aren't feminists, they aren't, but they're very powerful women in their own. How does that fit into intersectionalism and all of that?
So I think this really fits a lot, like I said before, into this history of feminism, starting from a place that was exclusionary. And actually, Cardi B has been quoted as saying she doesn't identify as a feminist, which breaks my heart because she is exactly the person I think of as a feminist, because the women that she was seeing pointed to as feminists directly denied her identity. They were dressed very modestly in a way, and also put down women who didn't dress like them. She didn't see herself in the movement, and that's the exact reason why we need intersectional feminism, so that all women, all people can see a reflection of themselves in a movement that's geared towards their success. And so those women are often dismissed because they don't fit into some sort of idea of what it means to be a quote unquote good woman, and an idea of what makes a good or not good woman is exactly what sexism does. So that's not really feminism. I personally don't like the Kardashians, sorry. But liking has nothing to do with it, because if it all comes down to who Sophia does or does not like, that's not feminism. That's just me being a jerk.
Yeah. I'm Team China too, so don't worry.
She's a powerful woman. She's a feminist too. I don't like her either, but I also just don't like a lot of people, so.
That's fair.
Feminism.
Okay, but so what do you feel about not to bring it over to about men? If I'm going to.
I heard you're a feminist.
I am. I do.
You dropped a few hints earlier in the episode.
I do. It's very important to me. But equally, I think the conversation about toxic masculinity is something that I don't know. As a very sensitive boy.
It's okay to be sensitive.
It is. But that's a hard conversation to have for a lot of men and a lot of people in general. But I'll speak from a place of maleness. Yeah, it's sometimes really hard to be like, oh, dude, I cry a lot, or like.
Yeah.
I was unsure about that laugh. I was figuring, I'm like, oh, it's fine. It was fine.
No.
Don't worry, you're allowed to laugh at this. It's fine.
My dad cries at The Little Mermaid.
Aww.
Yeah. He's a
What
little
part?
weird, though.
What part?
All of them.
There's some really happy parts of The Little Mermaid.
He says he doesn't, but you look through and the whole movie, he's just like, tears down the face, and I'm like, Dad, are you okay?
What about, there's the part in the beginning where it's all the sisters.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe it's just beautiful. Maybe he's
I
moved.
love that part. I would
Maybe
never
he's
cry.
moved. I like to think it's the part where she's like, you can't tell me what to do, I'm 16, and he's like, yeah, you do that.
Were you allowed to do whatever you wanted at 16?
No.
Okay.
Again, please re-reference the 5'3" Korean mother who's the meanest person I know. But she's really funny. It's like a good mean.
I hope. No, but toxic masculinity, it is, how would you say, like, it affects, because it affects everyone, but, like,
Absolutely.
let's talk about that.
Okay, so, I can't sit here and talk about the ways in which feminism has historically excluded the people it needs to help and not recognize the fact that feminism is, by being an intersectional issue, also applies to men. And so when you sit here and talk about toxic masculinity, the first thing I think of is, people hurt others because they are hurt themselves. So any man who is hurting anyone else is themselves insecure in a certain way, and that's like the whole basis of toxic masculinity. And so that's why FEM is really trying to build our, community base of men and male-identifying persons, because we want to hear your voices too. We want to hear how you feel excluded by gender roles and how it has made your life harder. Like, I have so many friends who were never taught to communicate emotionally and who can't cry, and it causes them a lot of real pain. And we're here to talk about this. This is not a group to say this is women only. We support college women, but this is everyone's fight.
No, I think sometimes we can get very caught up into, I was debating talking about this, but I think it's important, on structure of what gender is supposed to be and how, and I'll speak as, I host Pitt tonight, don't know if you guys know. It's my favorite thing, I love it so much. But I think we're on episode 7, or this is my 8th episode, I don't know. What number? For season 3, Annabelle? September, November, December. 7, great. Have some water, yeah.
Women's empowerment, I get to drink.
It's just water, we have nothing.
You're really rolling out the red carpet, there's a chair,
Chair,
water.
we have everything, yeah. But for the first half of it, for a while, I was really caught up on being, I'm very comfortable with being kind of effeminate at times, but it was really stressful for me, actually, because I didn't understand. I was like, I don't want people to think that Pitt tonight's silly because I'm feminine sometimes, which is a very kind of an inherent sexist thought that, that would be. But I did have a bit of it was silly to me, but it's not. Because
I want to
really
hear about it. Tell me.
I told you about this earlier, but okay, thank you for acting like you don't know.
We didn't prepare.
We didn't. No, the last episode, actually, I had a moment where, one of our PA's girlfriends went to cosmetology school, and so she did my makeup for the show. And it was a weird level of oh, I got this. It was a level of relaxation that I didn't realize was so helpful. And Annabelle did my makeup before the show today. I am very snatched. It's okay. Wig. But it was just I think that sometimes I didn't realize how much that would help me, because before I was just oh no, I'm fine. I can just go out. I don't care. But I did care, and it made me more confident. I didn't realize that's something.
Oh, that's fully human. Listen, at the end of the day, we like to control the parts of our own identity, and so for me, I went through a lot of bullying when I was in elementary and middle school, and I really threw myself into fashion because that was a way for me to control my image to the outside world. But the whole point is that I had the choice to do that.
Right.
And so, you know, I also work in theater. I'm a stage manager. And so there's times where I've gone about 5-6 weeks without sleeping. And, you know, you're not going to get any better than leggings and a shirt that I've been wearing for a week straight. And that's fine too, because that's my choice.
Right.
And I hear that, I mean, you're glowed to the heavens. You look gorgeous.
I love a little highlighter.
Oh, yeah.
I like to be blinding, but that's...
They
know.
Get a little turn.
Yeah. I could talk about how snatched I am till the cows come home, but...
For the women's empowerment.
But more importantly, I feel I'd rather end on something else.
Okay.
How do you feel like that we can empower women?
We can empower women by giving them the opportunity to be their best selves. We're all just here to, I mean, it's college, okay? So what do you do in college? You drink, you figure out how to do your laundry and cook on your own, and you form an identity. And that becomes so difficult when roads are closed to you because something is too masculine or too this or too that. This is all about giving everybody the choice to express themselves and grow to their greatest potential so that they can just live and be happy. And I know that sounds really sappy, but you know, we empower women by giving them a choice. It's just that simple.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much. Is there anything you want to plug for FEM right now before you finish?
I just want to say, so like Andrew said, I'm the events coordinator. Next year I will be the external VP. You are welcome to always like Pitt Fem on Facebook, follow us on Instagram. You can always message us. We are also available at pittfem2018@gmail.com. Email us, ask us any questions. Please come to our general body meetings, generally on Monday nights around 8 p.m. The location changes. You can find me on Facebook. My name is Sophia Marshall. Message me. I want to take a second to rep this beautiful shirt designed by our president. It has a Beyonce quote on the back.
I love fashion.
It's fun. We like Beyonce in this club. And just say thank you to Pitt tonight for having us on.
Thank you so much. And
Thank you.
welcome back to Pitt Tonight. Please welcome to the stage my good friend and incoming SGB President, Maggie Kennedy. Maggie Kennedy.
Hey.
Hey, congratulations.
Thank you.
This is incredible. So you are going to be the SGB president next year. That's a good thing. That was very hard to explain to people what that means and like how the process of elections and never mind. I'm not going to ask you. Anyway, this is incredible. What inspired you to run for SGB?
Well, I think so. I currently serve as the SGB Wellness Committee Chair, and I kind of had it in the back of my head at the beginning of the year, like, oh, maybe I'll run for board next year. I don't know. We'll see. And then as things were kind of playing out, I realized no one was really running for president, and I was talking to some of my friends, and I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know who to run with. There's nobody running. And one of my friends said to me, well, what about you? And I was like, oh my God, what? But here we are. So yeah, I thought about it more, and I really began to see myself in that position. And so I was like, well, hell, I'll go for it. So here we are.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Who inspires you? Like, who are women, real or not real, that you look up to, that you feel like, oh, she's awesome?
Yeah. Well, similarly to what Sophia said earlier, It's sappy, but I'm definitely really inspired by my older sister. She's 23. She's actually a master's student at Penn State. I know. Yeah, she'll watch this in a couple weeks, and so we can boo that. But she's not really into the cult of Penn State, though. She would want me to say that. But she's just fantastic. She is a published author. She co-wrote a children's book about women in politics her sophomore year of college. It's called, clap for
I
her.
didn't know they had books at Penn State.
It's called Madam President, 5 Women Who Paved the Way. So check it out, it's on Amazon. But yeah, I mean, she did that. She's studied abroad in Guatemala and Ecuador and gotten her ESL certification. She's just always been someone I've looked up to my whole life. And when I was a kid, if she did something, I was like, well, okay, Abby did it, so now it's my turn. Like, I have to do it now. In 5th grade, we both, separate years, obviously, but we both had the same 5th grade teacher who did these little plays. Like, we did A Christmas Carol, and then we did 1776. Really good material for 5th graders, you know.
Absolutely.
And when she was in 5th grade, she was Ebenezer Scrooge in their production,
As one
right?
does,
Yeah,
It's hard to
as a
top.
10-year-old girl does. And so when I was in 5th grade, I was like, well, okay, yeah, me too. I want to do that. And so I was Ebenezer Scrooge, even though I didn't really want to be, I guess, I don't know. And then in 1776, she was John Adams, and so I was like, well, I have to be John Adams, and I didn't get the part. I wasn't John Adams, I was Abigail Adams instead, and I was really upset about it for no logical reason.
She was wonderful.
I'm related
right?
to them,
Like,
wouldn't
actually.
that I should have been happier about it, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, long story short, but not so short, my sister, I love her, she's the best. Fictional, definitely like Leslie Knope, Parks and Rec fans out there. Yeah, I love Parks and Rec so much. I mean, she's kind of ridiculous, but she cares a lot, and I think that's cool. So
That's great. No, do you feel like people get kind of a hard time for caring, but that's not a bad quality, especially in a president. Like, I don't want a president that's too cool to, like, I don't know, care about like going to
that's not
meetings.
me. I'm definitely not cool enough to do that. No.
Good.
Yeah, I care. I promise.
No, yeah, you love music. You are in Songbirds, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, did you have like an election playlist that you were like, I love these songs. I'm listening to these songs, and I'm ready to campaign.
Yeah. Well,
Andrew, what do you think campaigning is?
I got a pocket full of votes. I got a pocket.
like an Easy Eye when she's in the shower, and, you know, like Emma Stone.
No, we're gonna keep talking about Easy A. That was a great scene where she was just going with the card. I love that. Okay. So your election.
Yeah, so the election. I think so. Something that a cappella does. There's this thing called ICCAs, which is like SLT's in the front. I know you know. Yeah, it's like Pitch Perfect basically or whatever. And we had our quarterfinal at the beginning of March, and then we actually just were at semifinals this weekend. And so I was listening to our set a lot. Really, like that was just the music that was in my head all the time. But then when it comes to election day, I listened to I Was Here by Beyonce so many times that day. Because it just like, if you know the song, it really makes you feel like you're important. And I was like, Beyonce, I need this today.
No.
So.
I love Four. That's one of my favorite albums of hers. I think it's really good. I love that. I love Schooling Life. I think she just really captures a lot of good anthems on that album.
Sure.
That wasn't a joke in any way. I think anyone, if you're ever feeling down, Four is a great album just to like pull it back up.
For sure.
Yeah. So other things in music, did you do music before? Like you did those, like you played Abigail Adams. Were you like a musical theater kid?
Yeah, I was. I did like theater and choir and all that jazz through high school. So yeah, it was a fun time. I wish I could do theater here, but I just too busy, you know. Yeah, darn.
It's okay. How do you feel like your music informs you as going into SGB? Do you feel like there's anything that like I don't know, like you can like acapella your way into like a meeting, like.
I'm
Yeah,
so
that's why-
confused by what you think music does.
Listen, I saw an episode of Glee the other day.
Oh, okay.
And I'm pretty sure
No, that
it
explains.
can do literally anything.
I mean, you're right. Like, I'll just walk into my next meeting, like, do, 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 you know, very, very a cappella.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think something that's kind of exciting, having a music background, but also being involved with student government, is that not a ton of student government people come from a music background typically, I guess. Not that I'm like some musician or something, I don't know, but.
I mean, you do acapella, that's.
Yeah. But I think one of the things that I do want to look into, and this is not a promise, everyone, don't hold me to it. I really want to try to work on
Keep her honest.
revamping the music practice rooms and stuff because they're just terrible, and there's not enough of them, and that's just something that I think a lot.
Our band seems very happy about that.
Okay, thanks. No, but seriously, there's like 8, and they're not soundproof, and I always have to wait 20 minutes to get one. So hopefully we can maybe try to do something about that, and I think that'll be cool because no one in SGB really knew that that was a problem before I mentioned it. So.
That is something about SGB. How much SGB is made of? Like not many people. Maybe like how many? Like 40 max. Like how many people?
Well, there's actually a good amount of people
Okay.
because there's. So sorry.
I'm not very informed.
Well, I'll tell you. So there's president, and then there's 8 board members, one of whom is the executive vice president, which is like the top vote getter in the election. And then there are currently 7 committees, but next year there will be 8 committees. There's a chair for each committee, and then some of the committees are standing, and so you have to apply to be on them, and there's only a certain amount of positions. And then there are others that are open to the public. You all can check out the SGB website if you want. Applications for chair and committee positions are due tomorrow at 5 p.m. But
Get it done.
yeah. But yeah, so there are actually a good amount of people between all the committees and everything. And there is, I think it's a pretty diverse group of people, but it just so happens that there weren't really a ton of people from the music
Right.
community before.
Yeah, but my misinformed point was, no, but I do think there is something that, the SGB is not everyone, I think there's, but I do think people just don't realize that, hey, I can just tell SGB I have a problem, and there's actually ways that things can be fixed.
Yeah, I think a lot of people maybe view government as a whole as inaccessible, and I really wish that weren't the case, especially here. Our office is up on the 8th floor of the Union. Come check it out. You can seriously walk in at any time if you just want to talk to someone. Every chair, every board member, the president, everybody has office hours. And we also have, weekly committee meetings and public meeting, which is open to the public every Tuesday, 8:45, Nordy's Place. And we also, on our website, we have like a Fix It Pitt tab where students can submit comments, concerns, questions, things like that. So we really are trying to be accessible, and we want people to tell us what bothers them so we can try to work on it.
That's wonderful. This is our Women's Empowerment episode. What do you think that you want, you're gonna give a speech, right, coming up next year to all the freshmen. Yeah. To all the people there, what do you want the women who listen to that speech to take from that?
Yeah, first of all, that's gonna be really, I'm gonna be nervous for that. That's a lot of people, but
There's a lot of people here, too.
Yeah, we have a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm feeling
Shannon,
good.
thank you. Yeah, we have a big audience.
You can't see most of them because it's dark, but they're here.
Yeah, I think I would love it, honestly, if everyone in the audience, first of all, just like paid attention, that'd be cool, and didn't like fall asleep or were on their phones. But I'm just being honest.
That's
but,
a low bar.
I mean, I know, but it's like, it's convocation. There's so much going on that week. But
This is your ideal situation. No
yes,
one's on their phones.
ideal
Everyone's
situation.
bright-eyed. Yeah.
Yeah, I would love if they, particularly the young women in the audience, if they looked at that and thought, oh yeah, maybe I could do that too, and thought, hey, I want to get involved in student government, or maybe I could be the person giving that speech in a few years. I mean, I didn't have that thought when I went to my convocation. I was like, I guess it must have been, I don't even know who, well, because in Nazarene, anyway. But I remember paying attention, but I never once thought that in 3 years I would be running for and then becoming the new president. It's just, I've grown so much here in my time at Pitt, and I'm super thankful for that. But I would love it, I think, if the women in that audience looked at that and thought, hey, I can be a leader too.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. We'll be right back with more Pitt Tonight. Welcome back to Pitt Tonight. Maggie and I had a conversation before coming on the show where she told me that she had a very special set of skills. And the one that she seemed to be most proud of was the ability to be able to look at people and decide what food they would be.
It's kind of like Taken, a little different, but.
Yeah. Well, and we're gonna put that to the test. So I've assembled a list of some very important people, or people I think are important. But this person's definitely important, actually. And you're gonna have to tell us what food they would be. And I have a lot of opinions about everything, so I may or may not disagree with you.
Okay.
Our first one is Blue Ivy Carter, America's sweetheart. Oh, she's so cute.
Okay, I mean, the immediate thought is Blueberry because her name is Blue Ivy, but I guess that's not super creative.
I don't think
So-
she has that implies a level of tartness
I
and then kind of
know.
like meanness.
Have you met her? Do you know her?
Have you?
No, I've not met Blue Ivy yet.
Do you want? Listen, if Pitt starts beef with Blue Ivy, we will get shut down. Don't even think for a second. I'm sorry, SHB has nothing on the Carters, so Maggie, I'd tread lightly. Tread lightly.
Okay.
I
mean, yeah, I might. Oh, do you have a thought?
go. No.
Yeah.
You're-
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stick with Blueberry, okay? Because I think blueberries are sweet, but also probably a little bit tart and maybe sassy. And if she's the
Okay.
daughter of Beyonce and Jay-Z, that seems like a pretty good description.
That's fair. I'll accept it. Favorite Blue Ivy moment of the last few weeks was when she was at the Wearable Art Gala and she got into a bidding war with Tyler Perry. Check it out. It's amazing. This was for us. So do you like poetry
Sure.
and art?
Yeah.
Then I guess you'll probably be familiar with the movie Beethoven. The head of a family is the one with the tail.
Are you asking me to label that dog as a food?
Nope. I'm asking you to label the entire cast and crew of Beethoven as as a hive mind. What would they be?
Can I like hold it?
Sure.
I actually haven't seen this movie. I'm sorry.
Out of touch. Out of touch and unrelatable.
How am I supposed to come to you with my problems as SGB president?
Shannon and I only know for Beethoven references to describe our problems.
Like, have most people seen this movie?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so individually, I don't know their names. Is that? I'm sorry. I know it's getting worse, isn't it? Okay.
Just say whatever you want.
Okay. Well, so the dad here looks like he would be like a ham, just just a ham.
Okay.
I think there's a sister here that's got her
This
mouth.
is taking a long time.
I'm
It's
sorry,
fine.
I don't know their names.
It was mashed potatoes. This is a softball. So do you follow politics?
Yeah.
Okay, do you know who the Prime Minister of England is?
Yeah. It's really
Okay, great. Because this is a pancake with chocolate chips for a smile. If it wasn't a pancake, what would it be?
So, like, if that pancake were a person?
If it was any more of a person, yeah.
Any more of a person than it is now?
Maggie, you have to represent everyone.
I know. Well, okay, I don't know what this has to do with England, but personally, I think that pancake looks kind of like my friend Colby Miller. He's in the Starbucks. Is he here? I don't think he's here. He just kind of looks like
Production, get in contact with Colby Miller so we can put a picture of him here.
Colby,
I'd
I
like-
love you.
Does he wear strawberries around his face?
I mean, most of the time, yeah.
Okay. Our next one is,
We never got an answer on that. You know, we got a person, but not the person.
yeah.
Is there a
Food.
correct answer that I didn't get? I'm sorry.
No.
What is the pancake supposed to be?
It was a waffle. It's the obvious choice. I don't know if you're gonna recognize this person. We went through your Facebook, and this is your first Facebook profile picture. Who would you be at the stage?
Okay, so, oh God, so this is some background. That's me and one of my friends from high school, Claire. She goes to Penn State, God. But yeah,
Yeah,
right, Claire.
ooh.
And this is us at the Taylor Swift Red Tour in Philadelphia in,
Get
what,
out.
I
2013?
was there.
Yikes. In this moment, well, Claire would definitely be mint chocolate chip ice cream with the shirt she's got going on. I don't know if you can see it. It's a mint color, very popular for teen girls, I would say.
What about you?
Ew. At this point,
Okay.
sorry, I just
You're back to being relatable to the people now.
yeah,
so that's
I'm
good.
trying. I would say me in this photo, probably like a vanilla Pop-Tart or some shit like that. I'm definitely not supposed to curse, I'm so sorry.
On this program, that kind of language is fine. I'm out of pictures, but that doesn't mean I'm out of ideas. Will the following people please come up to the stage right now? Dan Leone, come over here. You're gonna be one of the people. I didn't tell you we were gonna do this, but I thought about it about 3 minutes ago. I'm gonna check who's backstage really quick. Please open. Is CULLEN here? Where's CULLEN? Okay. You and Dan are gonna get on stage for a second. Yeah, stand there. Get out there, get out there. Okay. If these two were rival gang leaders in a musical that was covered by Smash, what kind of food would they be? And what utensils would you need to use?
Okay, so much is happening in that question. First of all,
It's a loaded question.
are you referring to West Side Story?
You could take it as West Side Story. You could also take it as a very creatively directed version of Seussical. So, open your mind, Maggie.
Okay. Oh my God. Okay. Wait, I'm sorry. What's your name? Colin. You're Colin. Okay. Hi, Colin. And you're Dan. You were an RA, so I know who you are. I'm an RA. Yeah. Okay, Colin. Can you stand up? Is that weird? Okay. Colin, I think you would probably be like spaghetti.
It's like I was expecting that.
Yeah,
That's fine.
so maybe you need a fork and a spoon. Some people are fancy like that. So yeah, I guess you would be spaghetti. And then Dan, I don't know.
Dan, what do you want to be? It doesn't mean you will be.
He said day-old Antoon's Pizza. That wasn't what I had in my mind, but...
You don't have to make it.
Yeah, odd enough, that wasn't what I thought of. No, I was gonna say... I don't even know. I'm sorry, everybody, this is not that exciting. I guess, well, I heard him whisper ice cream sandwich, and that kind of makes sense
That
for the,
makes sense. I
for the
see
way
it.
that you're dressed, because like your hair is the top, and then the middle is the ice cream, and then the pants are this bottom.
Wait, are you saying that, like,
Other people are dressed with the hair is not on top?
yeah, you should. Okay. Thank you two so much.
I'm sorry, everyone. This is not that exciting.
I think you're wonderful.
Oh,
I
that's
genuinely
nice.
do. I think you're amazing, and I can't wait to see everything you do next year. And we'll be right back with more Pitt Tonight. Thank you so much. to Pitt tonight. Our musical act for tonight is the all-female a cappella group, Sounds Like Treble.
Hey guys, we are Pitt's only all-female a cappella group, Sounds Like Treble, and we would love it if you would come to our concert on the 21st of April. It's still coming tonight.
One, two, three, four.
Lay my heart down, laid it down for you, laid it down for you. Oh, put my arms out, I put them out to you. Oh Lord, I was reaching for you, reaching for you. Oh child, reaching for you, reaching for you. Oh, but you will never know this love, will never know this pain, never know the way I feel for you. You will never know this touch, will never know this shame, never know the way I want you to. You will never know my love. You will never feel the way I do. Prayed my heart out, but your hands get raised and your soul got saved. Oh, still the devil, he don't know his name. Oh Lord, he don't know his name. But you will never know this love, will never know this pain, never know the way I feel for you. You will never know this touch, will never know this shame, never know the way I want you to. You will never know my love. You will never feel the way I do. Feel the way I do. Feel the way I do.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having us.
Sorry. Sorry. Thank you guys so much. Are we saying thank yous?
Yeah, we're ready to go.
Great. Sorry about that. This has been Pitt tonight. Thank you guys all so much for coming out. This means the world to us. But she's gonna hate that I do this, and now she's like, "Oh no, he's doing it." Can someone take Annabelle's laptop just because I want her on stage right now? Honestly, thank you all for being here. All of you are fabulous women. But Dan's gonna be a bit. Annabelle, get up here. Where is she? Oh, there she is. Good. And like, just thank you to all of the amazing women who make Pitt tonight possible. From people from talent to marketing to production to writing. It's amazing, and thank you all for all. I'm hugging you. I didn't want you to. Thank you so. And like, at the end of the day, none of this would be possible without Annabelle. You make my dreams come true every day, and I can't thank you enough for that. And none of this would happen without her. I don't think anyone understands the amount of effort that she puts into everything, and I look up to her so much, and she's one of my favorite people, and I'm so happy to be her friend. And this is Pitt Tonight. Thank you so much. We have one more episode this year. Please come out to see it. But give it up for Annabelle Hanflick. She's everything. And thank you to everyone here. Thank you. I love you so much. We kill this episode. We fucking kill. Wig. Oh, we can all just dance. This is way fun. Thank you all so much. You sounded amazing. We killed the episode. It was really good. It was really good.
It was amazing.
You know what? I think with shows like this, it makes our leadership make more sense to people. And I just wanted you up here because I wanted everyone to remember.
I can't. This makes me so happy. This was like the best thing ever. Thank you.
I love you so much.
Thank you. Wonderful. You bring the house lights up.
Oh yeah, house lights up, please. Oh yeah, house lights up.
Bring up the lights.
Do you want to go to your headset?
What?
Do you want to get your head? Do we get it for you?
It's Annabelle!
Thank you, baby.
You did so well! You were amazing!
You were so good.
Oh.
You feel good?
I felt great.
You did so well.
Oh, thank you, Dave. Thank you.
Great job.
Oh, thank you. Hello. How are you?
Great, and that was possibly the funniest one I did too.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of you. This is absolutely incredible. Thank you, Arthur. You blew it away today.
I felt it. Yo, this has been Pitt Tonight.
Yeah.
I'm DJ Andrew Dow, and yeah, you've been with rocking out with Pitt Tonight for the last 38 hours. Oh! Thank you so much. Check out our next episode. Like and subscribe.
That was so fabulous.
Hello, Andrew Down, love of my life.
I love you all so much.
What did you want to do for our picture?
It's over on Facebook. It was in a different file.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay. You're so on tonight.
What?
I thought we were going to be labeled as foods.
No, I'm sorry. Thank you, Aaron. How are you guys? Thank you all so much for coming. Thank you. I'm so happy. Thank you so much.
That was amazing.
Oh, thank you. Okay, I have to mingle with 1,000 people right now.